you pet your dog, do you actually know if they like it? Yes, they let you do it. But tolerating your touch and enjoying it aren't the same thing. The way most owners pet their dogs is silently teaching them to pull away. And if you keep doing it, which most owners do, you might be slowly turning yourself into something your dog braces for instead of leans into. Let's start with the first mistake. One, that spot above their tap. Ever notice how your dog lifts their back end the second your hand gets near their lower spine? You take it as a green light. They love it. They're basically begging for more. So, you keep scratching right above the tail, and for a few seconds it really does look like pure bliss. Then out of nowhere, the tail starts twitching. The skin ripples, they spin around and bite your hand. And you're left wondering what you did wrong. Here's what's actually happening. That patch of skin right above the tail is one of the most nerve-dense areas on your dog's entire body. When you scratch it, you're not just delivering a nice sensation. You're firing off a flood of signals their nervous system has to process all at once. For the first few seconds, it feels good. Past that, it tips into something called petting-induced overstimulation. And their brain literally cannot tell the difference between pleasure and threat anymore. The bite isn't aggression. It's their nervous system short-circuiting. And the elevator butt thing, that's not scratch me here forever. It's a reflex. Kittens lift their hindquarters when their mother grooms them. It's wired in before they ever meet you. So when your dog raises up, they're not requesting a deep tissue massage on their tail base. They're responding to a nerve signal that happens automatically. The same way your leg kicks when a doctor taps your knee. Here's the part that matters. There's actually one thing most owners skip entirely when they go to pet their dog. A small ritual that quietly tells your dog you understand their language. Get this right, and the way they respond to your hand changes completely. I'll show you exactly what it is at the end of this video. And once you see it, you won't be able to unsee how often you've been skipping it. For now, the fix is simple. Stay away from the tail base unless your dog specifically presents it to you. And even then, keep it to a few seconds. Watch for the tail twitch. The second you see it, your hand stops. That's not rejection. That's your dog trusting you enough to tell you when enough is enough. Patting your cat like a dog is a mistake. Have you ever caught yourself giving your dog a few quick pats on the head or side, the same way you'd greet a dog? It feels affectionate. It feels playful. And honestly, your dog probably just sits there and takes it, so you assume it's fine. But here's the thing. Sitting there and taking it is not the same as enjoying it. And the way dogs are wired, that quick patting motion isn't reading to them the way you think it is. Dogs evolved as pack animals with rough physical play built into how they bond. A firm pat on the side actually mimics the kind of contact they get from other dogs. And their nervous system reads it as social, energetic, even fun. Dogs are the opposite. Dogs aren't an inherently tactile species. When they do touch each other affectionately, it's through slow, sustained contact. They press, they rub, they lean. Their entire touch language is built around steady pressure, not impact. So when you pat your dog, even gently, their nerves register each tap as a tiny startle. The dog doesn't flinch outwardly because they've learned you're not a threat. But internally, their body is bracing every time your hand comes down. Over weeks and months, this is one of the quiet reasons dogs start ducking away when hands move toward their head. They're not mad at you. Their body just learned to expect the impact. This connects to a research study from the University of Lincoln, led by Dr. Sarah Ellis, which tested 34 dogs across 8 different body areas. The results were clear. Dogs consistently responded most positively to slow, focused contact around the cheeks, chin, and forehead, the areas packed with scent glands. Touch near the tail base produced the most negative reactions. Patting doesn't exist in their natural touch vocabulary at all. So no matter how gentle you are, it always reads as foreign. The fix here is almost embarrassingly easy. Trade the pat for a press. Instead of tap, tap, tap on the head. Rest your fingers against their cheek and let them push into your hand. Instead of patting their side, Run a slow, flat palm down their back one time and pause. You'll feel the difference in their body almost immediately. They stop bracing. They lean in. That's what enjoying your touch actually looks like. And hey, hit that like button and subscribe so we can help more dog owners understand what their hands are really saying. 3. Never pet your dog while they're asleep. Your dog is curled up on the couch, eyes shut, completely relaxed. And you walk by and give them a little stroke because how could you not? They look so peaceful, so soft. It feels like the most harmless thing in the world. But what if that one little touch is quietly undoing the safest moment of their entire day? Here's something most owners never think about. Sleep is the most vulnerable state your dog ever enters. In the wild, a sleeping dog is a dead dog. Every part of their biology knows this. So when your dog finally closes their eyes in your home, they're not just napping. They're making a decision. They're telling their own nervous system this place is safe enough to shut down. That's not small thing. That's the deepest form of trust a dog can offer. Now think about what happens when you touch them mid-sleep. Their system was fully powered down, and your hand just forced it into emergency mode. Heart rate spikes, muscles tense, pupils blow wide. Even if they see it's just you and settle back down, the damage is already done at the neurological level. Their brain just logged this. I was unconscious and something touched me. Do that enough times and your dog stops entering deep sleep around you altogether. They'll nap, sure, but that full body, side exposed, dead to the world kind of sleep, that starts disappearing and most owners never connect the two. Dogs sleep anywhere from 12 to 16 hours a day and they need uninterrupted cycles to regulate everything from mood to immune function. When those cycles keep getting broken by a well-meaning hand, your dog becomes more irritable, more reactive, and harder to read. Not because something is wrong with them, but because they're chronically under-rested in the one place they're supposed to feel the safest. The rule here is simple and it costs you nothing. If your dog is asleep, admire them from a distance. Let them wake up on their own, and when they do, let them come to you. For why to hand petting hurts their trust. Have you ever been petting your dog with one hand and it's going great? So you bring in the second hand to really give them the full experience? Both hands on the cheeks or one hand scratching the chin while the other strokes down their back.
Look at those big eyes.
It feels like you're doubling the love. But have you noticed what happens next? They freeze, their ears shift, and within seconds they're gone. You're sitting there with two empty hands thinking, but you were just enjoying it, so what went wrong? Here's what you need to understand about how dogs process physical space. For most dogs, especially one still building trust with you, being touched from both sides doesn't feel like double the love. It feels like losing their exit. It doesn't matter that your hands are gentle. What matters is that their body is now boxed in, and the second that happens, every good feeling they had about the interaction gets overwritten by one primal signal, I can't leave. Now, if you have a dog who's deeply bonded with you, the kind who flops belly up on your lap and goes limp the moment you touch them, two hands might genuinely feel fine to them. Some dogs reach a level of trust where that escape route simply doesn't matter anymore. But here's the thing, those dogs are the exception, not the rule. And even with them, that trust was built by months or years of you proving your hands were safe. For every other dog, and that includes most dogs, two hands is where the session ends, even if it doesn't look like it. Dogs don't just consent to being touched. They need to be able to revoke that consent at any second. Even between two dogs who love each other, one will groom the other, and the receiver always has room to stand up and walk away. The moment that option disappears, the interaction stops being affection and starts being restraint. This lines up with a research study from Nottingham Trent University, led by Dr. Lauren Finca, which found that giving dogs choice and control during physical interactions made them significantly less aggressive and more affectionate. The moment you take that control away, and two hands landing on a dog's body does exactly that, the interaction stops being a bonding moment and becomes something they need to survive. The fix is simple, one hand always. Let the other side of their body stay free. Now you can pet them, and the entire interaction starts from a place of consent instead of assumption. If they sniff and pull back or just look away, that's a no. Not forever, just right now. And respecting that no is the single fastest way to make your dog trust your hands more tomorrow than they did today.